They're not fleeing war. They're not fleeing persecution. They're fleeing the climate. From Honduras to Guatemala and El Salvador, entire communities are on the move. Their crops have failed. Their land has dried. Hurricanes have wiped out homes, and now they have no choice but to leave, and they're heading north, straight toward the United States. This isn't just a humanitarian crisis. Some analysts warn it could become a national security threat. Let's break this down. Over the past decade, Central America's dry corridor has been ravaged by drought and extreme weather. Families who once lived off the land now face crop failure, water shortages, and hunger. According to the World Bank, up to 4 million people in the region could be displaced by climate change by 2050. This isn't some distant future. It's happening now. They call it the climate caravan, slow moving, desperate, and largely invisible until it hits the border. And here's where the US comes in. As climate refugees approach its southern border, the US faces a major challenge. How do you secure a border against a natural disaster? According to Homeland Security and CSIS, these climate migrations can overwhelm border systems, fuel political tension, and in some cases provide cover for criminal groups and drug cartels. Cartels exploit chaos, and large-scale displacement creates exactly that chaos. Some security experts are even calling it an unrecognized security threat. But it's not just about the border. The deeper threat? Regional instability. As governments in Central America struggle to cope, foreign powers like China are stepping in, investing in roads, ports, and influence. If the US doesn't act, it could lose strategic control in its own hemisphere. On the ground, it's personal. Farmers say the land no longer feeds them. Children are pulled out of school. Entire families walk hundreds of miles just for the chance of survival. As one displaced father in Honduras said, "We didn't want to leave, but the rain never came back." The US response? Well, it's been mixed. The Biden administration pledged $4 billion in aid to address root causes of migration: poverty, corruption, violence. But critics argue if climate change is the spark, then money alone won't solve the fire. Some in Washington now ask, should the US create legal pathways for climate migrants? Others say no, arguing America can't be responsible for every displaced person on Earth. But the real question may be, can the US afford to do nothing? Let's recap. Climate change is displacing millions in Central America. These movements are already straining US borders. They risk destabilizing an entire region, and ignoring them could open the door to rivals like China. This is not just a crisis of compassion, it's one of national strategy. Some say future wars will be over water, not oil. But before the war comes the migration, and the migrants are already here. Will the US treat this as a threat or an opportunity? If this opened your eyes, don't scroll away. Subscribe to Geopulse for more stories at the crossroads of climate, conflict, and global power. Stay informed. Stay ready.